So what is home? It sounds like such a simple question, right? But if you really stop to think about it, the answer gets complicated, and it gets complicated fast. So let's dive in, because what we all mean by home goes so much deeper than just four walls and a roof.
I mean, is it just a physical structure, a shelter from the rain? Or is it a feeling, a sense of safety, of belonging, of being totally and completely yourself? That's the core question we're going to explore today, looking at the huge, crucial difference between a house and a home.
All right, so to start, let's just ground ourselves in the physical stuff, because for as long as we've been human, we have needed a place to live. And that story is a long one. I mean, it stretches all the way from our earliest ancestors in caves over 1,000,000 years ago to the mud brick houses in Mesopotamia, the bustling apartment blocks of ancient Rome, and right on up to the modern high-rises that shape our cities today. The need for shelter is just a fundamental part of the human story.
So, if you look it up in a dictionary, this is pretty much what you'll get. A home or a domicile is a space for residence. It's functional, it's practical, but as we're about to see, this definition, it barely even scratches the surface.
Okay, and now we arrive at the really crucial distinction. A building is one thing, but that feeling of home, that's something else entirely.
And to really understand that feeling, we're going to turn to a fascinating PhD thesis from the University of Sheffield. See, researchers spoke to people who had actually experienced homelessness to find out what home truly means when you've known what it's like to be without one.
This, right here, lays the distinction out perfectly. A house is the physical structure, the property. But a home, well, that's deeply emotional. It's built on connection, relationships, and that powerful feeling of belonging and security.
This quote really gets to the core of the research. Just because you live in a house, that doesn't automatically mean you feel at home there. They are not the same thing. So what happens when that feeling is missing?
Well, the study gives us a powerful term for this, the experience of not home. And let's listen to the voices of the people who describe this feeling firsthand.
Wow. Amy's words just cut right to the heart of it, don't they? Just somewhere to stay. There's no emotional anchor there, no sense of permanence. It's just a temporary landing spot, not a place where you can actually put down roots.
And Paul here uses the word dossing, which is a term for, sleeping in a temporary spot. It just highlights that feeling of transience, of having a place to sleep, but not a place to live.
Craig's reflection is so telling. It shows that for so many, the feeling of home is something they knew once, maybe as a kid, but have since lost. Every other place just becomes a functional space, totally lacking that essential emotional connection.
So the research defines not home perfectly. It isn't about the quality of the building at all. It's about having a negative or even a missing relationship with that building. It's this deep feeling of dislocation.
Okay, so if not home is the problem, what's the solution? What are the essential ingredients that can actually transform a simple dwelling into a real home? Well, the study suggests it's all about fulfilling a much deeper human need.
We've all seen Maslow's hierarchy of needs, right? Well, policy on homelessness often focuses on the very bottom of the pyramid, that physiological need for shelter and safety. And look, that is absolutely vital. But the Sheffield study argues that true homelessness, in that emotional sense, is actually a problem higher up the pyramid. It's a lack of belonging, of social connection, of esteem.
So based on the real experiences of the participants, these are the ingredients that help fulfill those higher needs. Things like having control over your own space, the ability to personalize it, a sense of stability. But towering above them all is one key ingredient, and that is positive relationships. Anthony says it just perfectly. It wasn't the building that made his childhood house a home, it was the people in it. It was his mom. This idea is the foundation of everything.
Which brings us to the ultimate conclusion of all this research. Home is, fundamentally, a story about our relationships with other people.
This is such a powerful way to reframe the whole thing. The study proposes that the root cause of feeling emotionally homeless isn't necessarily a lack of money or a physical house, but a lack of supportive, positive connections with other people. The research actually gives this a name: relationship poverty. It's when a lack of those positive relationships literally prevents us from meeting our higher needs, which makes it almost impossible to feel at home anywhere. It's a profound idea that shifts our focus from material lack to social and emotional lack.
This quote from Claire is it's incredible. She's describing why a homeless hostel, a place most people would consider the exact opposite of home, actually felt like one to her. And why? Because the people there, the staff, they cared. It had love in it. This just shows that the ingredients of home can be found anywhere, if the relationships are there.
So, when we strip it all back, this is what we're left with. Home isn't really a noun, it's more like a verb. It's not something you have, it's something you do. It's a feeling we actively construct, together, through our connections and our relationships.
And that leaves us with one final question to think about. Look around you right now. What are the things, the people, the memories, the feelings that transform this collection of walls, this physical space, into your home?